beautiful communities across all social media planets, all planets of social media. I am Ahaumna Amaya, and I am here to talk to you today about a health crisis, health initiation, and one of the most important things that we must be willing to face to actually get to a space where we can heal. This is one of the biggest things that was the final key for me to come out of extreme life-threatening neurological health crisis. And it is the thing that I see holding people back the most from truly creating a breakthrough in their healing, truly creating a breakthrough in their ability to receive the resources necessary to actually heal, whether that's money or opportunity or connection to the right healers, whatever it is. This is the biggest thing. You actually have to want to heal to truly heal. And you have to want that at the deepest level of your unconscious. So in order to really understand dis-ease, we have to understand that it is created and manifested because some part of us is not choosing life. Some part of us is actively choosing and creating death. That is why we manifest dis-ease, right? We manifest it because our unconscious doesn't want to be here in some way, shape, or form. And I have not met a single person now in thousands of people that I've met over the years that I've worked with in the realm of healing that does not have some part of their unconscious that wants to die. Meaning, unconscious meaning is not conscious to them until it gets brought to the surface through them. And every time it's been brought up, have you met the part of you that wants to die? At first, there's usually resistance, like, no, I really want to live, I want to survive, I want to heal this, I want to do all the things. Yet, they're pushing the money away, they're pushing the opportunities away, they are pushing away the actual things that are going to help them to heal. So why are they doing that? Well, it's because they have not met the unconscious part of themselves that wants to die, that is actively choosing and creating a death window. A death window is an opportunity for our body to die, because our bodies are hardwired for life. They are designed to live. They are designed, every system, every organ, every function of our bodies are designed to choose life fully, to overcome obstacles. If an organ is removed, guess what? Your body is going to alchemize another way to keep choosing life. Every system, every organ, every function of our body is designed to choose life. So it's not our body that has a desire to die. It is never our body that has a desire to die. Our body is always striving to preserve life. So this is a conversation that I have recently been having with a lot of people in the midst of deep health crisis. That has been the thing to take them into a new paradigm where they're actually having the breakthroughs necessary to really start to heal their bodies and heal their minds and step into a new life. Because until you meet the part of yourself that is actively creating a death window, you will not be able to heal. Because that part of you is unconsciously, and we know that our unconscious is the superpower for creation. If your unconscious, that super powerful creator, is actively creating a death window, well, your body is not going to be able to heal. Or you push the resources away to heal. If you are in a position where you're feeling like, I don't have the money to heal, or the opportunity, or the time, or whatever it is, you have not yet met the part of you that wants to die. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? We have not been taught as a society how to face death. We have not been taught about the deeper spiritual integration and initiations that are actually involved with that death window. Because in that death window, our bodies are not designed to die. Every single time I've brought up this to a client and asked them, have you met the part of yourself that wants to die? And at first there's the resistance, and then comes the truth. Well, I have had the thought that I don't want to be here anymore. Or I have had the thought that it would just be easier if I wasn't here anymore. Or gosh, it would be just so nice to not be on earth anymore. Right? All of those are the thinking patterns of the part that wants to die, the part that wants to exit. And within that, we start to create ways to exit, whether it is through very obvious ways like drug addiction, or through obvious ways like treating our body really poorly with the type of food that we're eating, and not really giving a damn about taking in toxins, even though we know they're not great for our body, and manifesting all these little chronic issues. Whether you're in a very obvious life-threatening situation right now, or you are in a less obvious life-threatening situation of chronic dis-ease, both are life-threatening. One is just more of a quick espresso shot into this initiation of the death window, or it is a long burn of the chronic death window. Both of them are creating death windows. Both of them are creating potential ways to get out, to exit. Now, there's nothing to be ashamed of. When we actually have these conversations, we can have a true breakthrough. And as someone who has physically attempted to take this body's life twice now, I can speak to this in pristine awareness of what is really going on, as well as someone who's gone through a life-threatening initiation that only truly began to heal when I finally chose to face the part of me that wanted to die. And I actually let that part die. This is the most important thing. In order to heal, we have to face the part of us that wants to die, and we have to allow it to die. We have to allow it to leave our body. This is where we get into more of the esoteric, spiritual aspect, the deeper spiritual conversations around why we manifest dis-ease to begin with, right? Because again, like I said, the part of you that wants to die isn't your body. So we don't actually need to fear the death window. The only way that that death window should be feared is when it is kept unconscious, which is why people commit suicide. It is why people take their own lives, because the death window and the part of them that wants to die is being kept unconscious. It's not being addressed. And the deeper spiritual initiation that is trying to happen, where the part of you that is aligned and designed to die, the individual self, the personality, the epigenetic overlay that is not who you truly are, that is the mimetic virus imprinted into who you are, that is imprinted into people, all of us that have come into a black hole system. And in these black hole systems, death, right, of the body is designed to siphon energy. So as we are at this transitionary point where we have reclaimed this planet, where we are now in a reality where people can actually start their spiritual evolution, that part that has been imprinted into you, that has kept your soul from coming fully into your body, that part has to die. And that part, in its desire for death, creates a lot of disease to find its way out. In our esoteric world, these are the initiations of the second and third initiation, the crucifixion and the resurrection, right? There is a death that happens, the death of the self, the death of the virus, the death of the ego, the epigenetic overlay, the death that takes place so that the soul can fully downstep and come into the body. Now, it's very important that in this process, we actually allow ourselves to be in it. One second. What that looked like for me, what that looked like for some clients that I've guided through this process, is going fully into the desire of the part of the self that wants to die. So for me, this was years ago, and I sat down and literally made a pro-con list. I was at a death window. I had an exit point very clearly that I had been creating for years. And I had this soul spark coming through that really wanted to live. And a lot of times what happens is that people will bypass the part of them that wants to die and just keep putting all their focus into the part of them that wants to live because they believe that that's what they need to do in order to heal from the crisis. When in reality, until they've actually released the part of them that wants to die, allowing it to die, not physically, energetically, to leave the body, that is when true healing can happen, and it can happen so quickly, and all the resources that you need for that healing start to miraculously show up, and all the people that are aligned to actually take you through that deeper initiation start to show up. So in that process, when we're actually embracing like that part that hopes to survive, that part is so important. That part is your soul starting to come in, and that part, we don't want to lose touch of that. We also don't want to deny the part of us that's actually creating the disease, though, because that's the key. That is the magic key to unlock the door and to awaken a new world where real health and wholeness and vitality and strength and soul embodiment and purpose and mission and all the things that, if you are watching this video right now, I know you're ready for, claiming for yourself, here for, because you wouldn't be watching this video if that wasn't your truth. Whether it is conscious to you right now or not, there is a frequency and it emits and you get drawn in, and we follow that, and the codes come through and we get the message that needs to happen in that moment, because I am you and you are I, and we are creating it together. So from that standpoint, this process, it looks like actually going in and allowing ourselves to sit with the part that wants to die, to acknowledge its very real fears, its very real beliefs, its very real stories, and to not try to convince it. This is very, very important, because that hope, right? That hope, that choice for life, since our society, our world has been so deeply conditioned to fear death, to see death as this like scary thing that we try to want to avoid, that we don't want to have happen, or that is a really painful and sad transition, all the different ways, all the different stories throughout time and space here that have conditioned people to fear death in some way. This is the deepest ingrained fear that keeps your soul consciousness from descending fully all the way down into your Earth Star chakra to fully embody your vessel, to fully bring soul descending involution down into your vessel for true soul embodiment to take place. It is the last and deepest fear that has to be addressed. And people who are on the lightning path of spiritual awakening in this life, who've chosen that, chose life-threatening disease to be that gateway. And if you do not get that, you do not see that, or if you do not have people around you who understand that, you can go down a path of trying to basically pull yourself out of something without actually allowing what needs to happen to take place, for the death to happen, for you to face that death, for you to allow the self to die, to transition to Bardo, exit out of your body, and your soul to fully come in. Because once your soul fully comes in, the real healing can actually begin. All obstacles to healing, money, time, people, places, all of it dissolves in an instant. Because the part of you that was pushing it away is no longer in your body. You have lovingly, intentionally, ceremoniously, with grace and devotion, allowed it to have what it wanted, its exit. And it wants that exit because it wants evolution. And in order for evolution to take place, involution, the downstepping of consciousness into our form must happen now, because that's where humanity is at, the earth is at, evolutionarily speaking. To evolve now is a spiritual involution process. Spirit, consciousness, soul level, downstepping into the vessel and fully embodying the vessel. So from this space, I was talking about how that hope, that part of us that wants to live when we're still living with these two parts, the part that's manifesting the disease and the part that wants to live. A lot of times what I witness is that we try to convince the part of us that wants to die that it really should just choose life. And in doing so, we are not giving it what it actually desires: to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. Because that is what all energy, all consciousness, even fallen energy and consciousness desires: to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. And I don't know about you, personally, if I'm sharing something vulnerable with someone, and I share that vulnerable something, and then they just jump into another topic and start talking about something totally different, not even acknowledging what I've just said, and actually maybe even trying to convince me that what I just said was not valid or valuable, I'm going to feel hurt by that. I'm not going to feel seen or heard or loved. And what's going to happen is I'm going to pull away from that person. Right? I'm going to pull away from them because I'm not feeling seen, heard, and loved. So if I'm not feeling seen, heard, and loved, I'm going to pull away. So internally, what happens then in that death portal, when the part of us that wants to die, the self that is designed to die, and the soul that's trying to come in, that's choosing life, doesn't see, hear, and love, and actually allow that part to die, the part that wants to die is going to go deeper into the unconscious. And when it goes deeper into the unconscious, what directly happens is that the disease progresses quicker. We have to bring that part that wants to die fully to the conscious, and to then fully allow it to make its exit out of our body. And if we create disconnection, though, the moment we see that part that wants to die and we say, oh, no, life is better, choose life, these are all the reasons why you should choose life, and we don't allow it to have its voice, to express what it is feeling, and to lovingly hold space for that, it will go deeper into the unconscious. And I've seen it time and time again. If you have already healed, like let's say it's cancer or something else, and it comes back, it will come back because the part just went deeper into the unconscious and it has not been released fully from the body. So a lot of times the ways that this will show up in our, let's give some tangible examples, right? So health crisis that shows up and the being doesn't have the money to invest in their healing, or they feel afraid to take out the loans or whatever it is, because they actually are valuing debt more than they're valuing their own life, because that part that wants to die is doing so. It's creating reasons for why it cannot heal. I have seen people who we have literally offered free transformational healing opportunities for them who were in severe crisis, create a bunch of reasons why they could not show up to receive that healing, whether it was with us or someone else. And that part of them, right, that doesn't show up, that makes all these obstacles, is the part that wants to die. It is choosing death. So it will create a bunch of obstacles when healing gets presented to itself, because it has not been released from the body yet. And the body will not heal until it has died, until it has left the body and the space for the soul to enter has fully been allowed. So people will push away the money. They will create a bunch of reasons for why they can't show up for whatever it is that's actually going to create a healing breakthrough. Because remember, it is in the unconscious that our real life experience is manifesting through. It is not through the conscious part that wants to live. It is through the unconscious part that is wanting to die. And it gets more difficult and more challenging when we resist that death, because we think and believe and have been conditioned to believe that that death meant the death of our body, when it actually does not. All bodies are designed to live, to thrive, and to have miraculous healing experiences in the blink of an eye. If you understand your body, if you learn how your body works, if you learn how your systems regenerate, if you really truly connect to your body, you will get that. And because our body is the physical outpicturing of consciousness, what is happening in our consciousness is what is actually creating the physical outpicturing of our body. And it is within the unconscious that our direct manifestation happens until we bring more of the unconscious into the conscious. Then we get to a point where we become lightning fast conscious creators, and what we say immediately manifests. To get to that point, though, you have to go into the unconscious and bring that gunk, that fear, the darkness, the real desire for death to the forefront of your awareness. In order to really grasp healing, we have to have conversations about the spiritual initiation that humanity is within right now, and to have greater understanding of the Bardo process, of the death of the old system, of the virus that is happening in all of our bodies. And if we resist that death, if we don't allow it to happen, it will try to take your body out with you. And the moment that soul touches your body for the first time, it doesn't have to come fully into your body. For most people, it just lays its hands on your crown and you get this awareness. That awareness comes in and you start to rapidly upgrade who you think you are and how you want to move in this world and the systems and organizations that you were involved with. And that light, that energy starts to penetrate down into your body, and it goes through every system of your body and it assesses, can I live in here? Can I live in this body? Is this body strong enough? Is this body neurologically hardwired in a way where it will actually receive me? Is this body's blood able to fully receive me? Because it will live in the blood. Are the detox path, is this body overburdened by toxins that when I come in, like if you think of it, like back in chemistry, when we would get to that point where you'd be like heating something in the little beakers and then it would explode because you added too much heat, added too much energy to the chemical, and the chemical had a chemical reaction and exploded. So the soul's evaluating, is there too many toxins in his body where if I enter and bring that energy in, it's going to cause a massive collapse of this body? It is analyzing the nervous system, the vagus nerve, it's analyzing the digestive, it's analyzing everything that's happening in the body, and it is doing it with soul light. So what means is that it's not only analyzing, it is triggering to the surface anything that is out of alignment, any toxin, any imbalance, any neurological dysfunction, nervous system pattern, any digestive imbalance, any organ system or function, anything that is not going to be able to hold your soul fully in your body. Your soul light is going to start to penetrate through it and bring it to the surface. This is why that spiritual initiation is often led by a breakdown of the body, which is actually your body saying, this is all the things I need support and to heal in order to hold the full light of my soul. So it is the intelligence of your body coming online from that first touch of your soul's light and saying, I need support. We have to address all these things that have manifested this deeper lingering disease that I've been suppressing to survive here, as well as the epigenetic overlay that has been imprinted into this body that has conditioned me in this body to believe that death is the outcome and that we should actually fear that outcome because it itself dies, right? Whereas soul, body is eternal. It transforms, right? The epigenetic overlay also transforms. It transforms through death and it returns as space dust, star dust, etheric matter back to source. Whereas organic consciousness, organic form can transfigure and return through ascending after the descension fully of higher consciousness into the body back to source. So this topic is a much deeper, longer conversation. And I wanted to start to initiate it now because we are at the pinnacle of this evolutionary process. And we are at the threshold of a lot of souls ready to fully downstep or walk into their bodies. And in order for that to take place fully, the part that wants to die, the part that has been being ignored and avoided, it has to be brought to the surface and we have to let it die. We have to honor its death. Inside of 7, the 7-day initiation going through the year of 2023, we intentionally did a death ceremony because this is the energy of this year. It is death of the old system, death of the old structures, death of the epigenetic overlays. And in that death, something actually has to die, be transformed for more space to come in. Otherwise, it is going to really, really create a very difficult experience for you in your body. So if you have just jumped in, welcome. I am gonna wrap this up now and let this be a continuing conversation. So I would love it for you to comment about what this brings up for you. What did it ignite within you? Do you have any thoughts about this? Do you have any questions about this? Would you like me to share more about this? Because this is the one thing that will unlock your healing journey faster than ever, and that likely there will be the greatest amount of resistance to, or the greatest amount of questions to. The hows will come up really strongly in this. The hows are resistance. All hows are resistance because everything, all is known within you now, right? So hows come up and all these things. So let all that come through the comments. Tag people who you feel like they're in the midst of their health initiation and maybe they could use a little bit of insight into this. And, you know, this is the key here that will spiral you up into real healing, that will break down any walls that have pushed money away, pushed opportunities away, created a lot of self-sabotage, create a lot of missed opportunities when opportunities are handed to you freely. those are the parts that have to be addressed to actually heal. And that is what we are here for. True healing, true breakthroughs. And when you actually do this part of the work, your breakthrough will happen in days, not years. And I know this to be truth because I've witnessed it over and over and over again with the people I work with, within myself, the people who are actively willing to face death. So my loves, I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear questions or things that you'd like me to elaborate on. And if you want me to keep talking about this in the comments so that I know this is something that you'd like more about, as this is a topic that is really, really close to my own heart, because this was the thing that allowed me to fully complete the deep health initiation that I was in, as well as the full completion of the involution of soul consciousness into this body. So sending you all so much love. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your week. I will see you all again.